all right. Oh, my little sacks of potatoes. We have updates, which is awesome. So everything is here. Alex V Metalworks, I've got it all. Half of it sitting, oh, you're shedding. Half of it sitting behind you. It's all painted. Watch links done, 4 links done. I've already got the mounts hung. The C-notch kits in, upper control arms in, ball joints, pockets, hardware, bushings. I've got grease. I've got everything. We're ready to go. So that's exciting. I'm going to get started on some of it tonight and just kind of lay out everything and get all the metal clean for the C-notch, get all that. Dixie, go find something to do. Man, goodness gracious. So yes, and this is midday Saturday. We had volleyball games today. I'm back. I'm still gonna need to go change clothes. Behind me, we got the 10 bolt, pulled everything off. Hardware looks good. Pads are a little worn. Back hubs look great, or drums look great. So I wired off the top of it the other night before I went to another volleyball game. So we're pretty close to having this at least cleaned up. Now I am still looking for a 12 bolt. I put the word out to a couple of people. I would rather have a 12 bolt 5-lug truck axle if I can find one. Just one, they're beefier. 2, they have a better factory gear set. If I've got to re-gear this, it's not a big deal. So I'm just going to put that out there. I can get a re-gear set with the carrier and the ring and pinion, probably $600-700 for an okay Chinese manufacturer. A little under $1,000 for Yukon, that sort of thing. And of course, I'd want to do the C-clip eliminator kit. So if I can find a 12 bolt, I'd rather do that. I'm not going to be narrowed it down and trying to burn the tires off this thing, but if it happens to happen once every day, then that's what I plan to do. And this engine will produce power. With that transmission, very low mile transmission, new torque converter, I think it was 2400 stall, we should be in pretty good shape as far as scooting. I just don't want to be going down the highway with this gear set, these are 307s, and be running 2700 RPMs at 60 miles an hour. That's not, I have more sense than that. Okay, y'all go on. Hey, go play. We're also thinking about getting a goat called Snoop, G-O-A-T. It's a friend of mine's goat. We have weeds out here, and they've come to the conclusion they can't butcher it because this goat does tricks and he's real cool. So that might be something that's coming up around here. So without further ado, you guys caught up on all that last update, or you guys got caught up on that last update. Everything is here. I've already got a lot of stuff painted and dried, so I can go ahead and start on that. I'm going to go ahead and set up wire brushes, all the grinders, levels, squares, and start getting some lines popped on this where you guys don't have to watch me set that up, but this is where I start carrying you along with me. I know that I've got to figure out some editing stuff because a lot of these videos compressed need to be it needs to be a good video, but it needs to contain everything you guys need to know like in one shot. Like if we're doing the C-notch, I want that to be all in one video. So that could turn out to be a 30-minute video. I need to have my skills up to par for that. So I'm going to be getting a lot of content. I got extra SD cards, full batteries. We're ready to roll. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and shut you guys down. It's finally cooling off. The wind's finally starting to blow too. It was only like 94 today or something. I'm going to go ahead and get everything starting to lay out here. Dad's going to come by tomorrow. He's got some stuff to do in the morning. And of course I can always use the help, but I'm going to get everything laid out, clamped up, and probably go ahead and start getting everything tacked in tonight and then burn it in tomorrow while it's nice and cool in the morning. And we're ready to make some progress, boys. Let's get this thing done. So the next segment you're going to catch up on, I should have the videos done, edited, and we'll figure something out. But this is just going to be a late week update. This is going to be for the weekend. And it's already after dinner time Saturday, so we're gonna do what we can do. But until then, I appreciate you guys hanging out, and cheers. We'll catch up with you guys here in a bit. One of those. All right, so this is gonna be step one. This didn't come with any instructions. Oh, so I'm gonna have to use my creative genius, which I traded a long time ago for a bag of peanuts. So where we're sitting right now, and this fits a little weird now. This is a universal kit, okay? This is where our shock mounts up, and the shock's on the outside. That's why there's a little indentation there. These bottom ends are different. So this one's pretty flat with the frame. I mean, it's flat this way as far as a level surface goes. This one comes down a little bit. Now, with that being said, if I'm gonna run the shocks in the same location, which I'm not sure that I'm not, I'm gonna need to cut this like so. If I do, this piece will fit in here and weld into that, and it'll look fine. If not, then I need to find out. So I'm gonna do some checking tonight. But as this sits, I've got my frame level. So this hardened surface on top of the frame is level, dead on DOB. Okay, so with the most accurate and true level that I have, we're sitting center bubble. I mean, perfect. Same with this, okay? I come down and I measure the back side of this to the back side of this. Y'all remember the notches that I cut in here whenever we had the rear end sitting in here. I used a plumb bob, centered out the rear end. I got a scribe to top, top to top, like so. So this is our center. I gouged it in the frame with a hacksaw. Okay, so we've got the center of our C-notch. That's sitting center. Frame is level. This is level. And this is at 4 11/16 coming off the back. If I'm looking right up under here, 16 short of 3/4. Okay, it's exactly mirrored on that side. So I've got a few flat pieces just sitting up here on some magnets that I can kind of check and see. You know, of course they're going to cut these just a scotch long. It's kind of a trim to fit deal, which I would rather have it that way. Now they send you the long pieces in case you wanted to box this whole thing in and then set it in there. And I guess however you want to do it, but I'm going to have to cut the long pieces down. Those fit real well in there. These will fit in here. I mean, however you want to do it. So it's a pretty sweet setup. Same piece fits on the top. So you've got two long pieces, two long pieces, 3 of this size piece, and 1 little piece. So little goes in here, small, small. So here, 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 and here. So this will get tacked up well. We'll tack this side up, loosen the clamp, flip the other side, and mirror it off here. But we need to find out exactly what's 90 degrees from this corner right here, that corner right there, because our next one's going to butt up to that. Then we'll set a flat plane on top, and we're going to check level this way, just to make sure that we're square. You'd rather take as much time as you can right now and get this square. The frame has to be level. Let's start there. Has to be, has to be, has to be. If your frame's not level and you get all this done, you set it down, it's going to look weird. The airbags is going to give us the potential to do this, okay? Now, I don't have the P3 set up on there. I will eventually. But a P3, you can put 68 pounds in here, 41 over here, 109 back here, however you want to do it, to where you can get this truck dead level, okay? And that's what we're shooting for. We want this thing as level as can be. So the frame's level there, the jog up, it's level here, level off the front. Level, level, square, square. We'll get a square here, make sure that we're there. But before I do anything, I'm gonna go inside tonight and do my homework and make sure that this is the right way. Because on the other side, this shock location is on the rear, okay? Which is real common, okay? So this pointed piece on that other side goes over there. Now I put these together and it's all a mirror cut. It's just this corner is different on 2 of them, okay? So it doesn't matter if I put the other piece like this one on the other side with the long piece in the rear. This has the potential to hang over a little bit. We should be like right at 9 inches right here too. I didn't measure that, but we're at 9 1/8. So we have a little adjustability where we want that, because once we burn this in, we put our top pieces up here and burn that in. All we're doing is cutting this piece right here, and then boxing it in with this other scrap, or the other strap, and we're golden. So, pretty simple process. As you can see, I've already got the 4-link brackets mounted. I did that last night. Those came in, so I painted those before I went to a volleyball game. Came back and put those on last night while it was cooled off in here. And right now, it's starting to cool off. It's a little windy and like probably 89, 87, something like that. So it's pretty nice. Excuse me. So that goes there. So that one's on a clamp. The other is on a clamp on the driver's side. I'm going to leave that for now and go do my due diligence just to make sure that I'm going to be okay doing this. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't. And then tomorrow we can mirror it, put some nice hot tacks on all the corners all the way around. Then we can start hot tacking all this stuff in. These we're going to need to trim. I got wizard scissors and a nice thing, so we can do that, and we'll burn a hot tack, get everything tacked up. But we want to make sure when we put this on here, this is 90 degrees, that's 90 degrees, that's 90 degrees. We want, this is holding our tail of the rear end square. So right now we know that we're sitting, we want to keep it that way, okay? We don't want to start getting something cattywampus and then, we're trying to show off the craftsmanship on the truck and it looks like boogers. So this is a point kind of like the front. Take your time. Don't get in a big rush doing this. Some guys that do this, they've probably done 100 of them or 20 of them or 7 of them. It doesn't matter. They've got more experience than I do. I want to make sure that whenever someone that sees this goes, hey, you did a great job on that. Cool. That's all I need to do. I'm not a big fab shop. I just build cool shit in my garage. So, that's tutorial number 1. We'll walk through this a little bit more. I'm going to, because I know where this mark is scribed, and that mark is scribed, I have the same mirror mark on the other side. So I'm going to go to a first set of rivets just to make sure that our rear end is square. It should be from when I welded that up and cleaned all that up. It was dead on DOB. So I want to make sure that that's good before I burn any of this in, because if I need to tweak anything, which if it's anything, it's going to be a 1/16 of an inch. I mean, it shouldn't be much. I'd like to know about it. So let's leave with that, and I'll catch you guys here in a bit. All right, let's talk about this for just a second, okay? So we've done real well. Let me back up where you guys can see what we're pointing at here and looking at everything. This is my pointer. All right, so goodness gracious. Okay, so I've got this first one tacked on, a couple of hot tacks. So it's true, okay? What I went ahead and did is where that shock mount is, I cleaned it up and put the same reveal all the way down, okay? Rounded over my corners, cleaned up all my edges, broke all the edges so that everything will weld up good. Cleaned all the mill scale off the ends, so we're good there. This little coupon, well, it's not even a coupon. I'm sliding this in there just to make sure that we're staying good, we're nice and tight, we can still move it around, that sort of thing, okay? The second piece, okay, that one's hot tack too, okay? The one to the back, I don't know if you guys can see it, probably not, okay? I did the same thing, I put it up there, I scribed all my lines, I cleaned it up, I dry fit it, I don't know, a dozen times. Broke all my edges, cleaned everything up, made sure all my frame is clean, the backside of that's cleaned, everything is grounded nice and good. There is a little notch on this back side that I had to just clean up and cope around so that everything stays plumb, okay? Plumb is this way, level's this way, so that both of them are plumb. Both of them are dead on, okay, as we're looking at this. Now I can take my little level, plumb. This one's plumb. This is level, this is level, okay? So this one is mirroring that one. So what I've done to make sure that everything is square so that I know this is the 90 to that, is I take this, okay, let me set my scribe down. I set this on here like so. Let me flip it around this way, okay? So that I can check and see what's level here. I put it on the front of this, on the front facing. I get this level. This has to touch this square as that sitting level, and it's dead on, okay? So I went through, got this one ready to go, and I'm about to hot tack it. I'm gonna do it from the inside. Now you keep in mind on this, we've got a frame to weld to. On the inside it's not boxed in, we don't. So I'm gonna hot tack it up behind here, behind this one, but on this piece, the back piece, okay? I'm gonna burn in a couple of good hot tacks on each corner, and then the bottom, I have it where it's butting up to the frame, okay? We've got the frame and this, so we've got a nice little edge right there that we can put a nice hot weld in, okay? So this one's hot spot tack, this one's about to get hot spot tacked, and I'll move to that other one. It's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm gonna lower my doors a little bit and I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna get that other side done so that in the morning I can come out here, I can get all these cut to fit, I can hot tack everything. I'd say hot tack, a good one, something that's gonna hold, because I've been beating on this stuff. We want to get this tomorrow where we can just come in here, clean up our edges, and have nice hot tacks where we know it's not gonna move, like, at all. Then we can burn it in. We got that. I do need to pick up some more steel because we need to make a bridge on here. I'm not real sure how I want to do it, if I want to use some good round tube or some rectangular channel and, you know, put some speed holes in it, and I've got dimple die sets and all sorts of stuff, so I can make something cool for the top and for the back. The compressor is going to be back here, so we have to make something anyhow. But when we do this, this is plumb and level, or this is level, this is plumb. So when I do that back one, we're going to have to make sure, because I don't want a joint that's 37 1/8 and another one that's 37 3/4. That's not going to fly for me. So having our it's not a coupon. Having our piece in here, we can set this in here and see how it's nice and rigid. Whenever I get this done, I'm going to clamp this together where I know that it's not going anywhere. I'll build that side, then I'll build a bridge for it. We're going to burn it all in at one time with everything tacked together, and we should be golden, okay? In essence, we want to build this frame out of all of this. I'm not going to weld this inside yet, okay? We're just going to get all of this outside done. We're going to come through here with the Sawzall, lay our blade flat, cut out that chunk, lay our blade flat, cut out that chunk. Then we'll take our pieces that Alex sent. Needs to fit right in the holes. We'll burn that in, put our little piece up in the top, burn that in. There is a little hole in here, which I'm going to leave in here. I'm going to leave it as a drain hole. And I've also considered, because I'd like to have, if my tank is back here, I'd like to have the compressors to the inside of this. Now, I don't know how that would work, and it doesn't look like there would be much room, so it's probably not going to happen. But I would like to have a way where I can, and I can still do this while it's open before I weld it. I would like to drill a hole in here, put a 1-inch rubber grommet in it on both sides. So if I had to fish something through, I can run a piece of welding wire through there now and just, you know, leave a couple of inches exposed on each side. Bend it up to where you're like, hey, there's welding wire stuck in there, but you'll understand, don't pull that out unless you want to fish something through. And it'd be all tucked up in there where you don't see it. That'd probably be the best way. But anyhow, that's just a brief update. Dad'll be here tomorrow. We'll get to welding and burning in some stuff. I'm just trying to get some stuff ready where when he gets here, I can weld it, or he can weld it. It doesn't matter to me. But I'd like to get this done tomorrow and get the front done, because when we cut this out, we've got to put that axle back under here. I did talk to Alex. Man, I messaged him. No, you keep in mind, this is a Saturday night. This is like 8 o'clock. I messaged him and said, hey, man, so in those pictures, I was seeing this big bracket that bolts to the spring, the flat bar, or I don't know what to call it, where the springs mount to the rear end on the axle tubes. He was like, no, man, I sent you some weld-on deals. And I was like, cool. And I mean, he's so fast and so courteous about it. He was like, no, so you just take this and this. And he explained it to me like I was in elementary school, which I understand. I'm grateful for that. And I drew him a picture just to make sure I understood on a piece of paper and just to sketch with a pencil, and he was like, nailed it. So that's going to be a pretty cool deal. What? Oh, you got to see this. Hold on. Can y'all see that? He just come walking in here. That's what my dog was barking at. Look at that big old tarantula. It's got babies on its back. Oh, I got to see this. Oh, this is awesome. Okay, that's not babies. It's got something on his back. I don't want to get too close to him. It looks like a penny on his back. I don't know how to zoom in on this, or I would. Man, that's pretty. What a big old guy. Oh, he's starting to bounce. I'm gonna move. Oh, how cool is that? Well, anyway, hey, move back, son. You're in my work area. Y'all see him by the hammer, behind the hammer? He's right under that shadow. Oh, big guy. Why they move like that? I'm not scared of spiders, but I don't want a tarantula chasing me. What a big old feller. Man, he just come waltzing in here like he paid rent. Dang, he's big. Look at the size of that. That's a big hammer, guys. That's like the, I don't know, 2-pounder or something. That's not the small one. He's like the size of that head. Okay, maybe not that big, but you get the point. Anyway, this isn't a show about arachnids. I think arachnids. Is arachnid spiders? I don't know. Anyhow, he's right in my work area, so I'm done there. I think you guys got the gist of this. Let me walk around it while I have this off for a bit, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. We're trying to keep everything square, true, and plumb. Okay. Hey, well, don't. I'm watching him while I'm trying to film this. Well, anyway, I might go make me a cup of water and hope he's gone when I get back. Dang, he's big. We had those in the country at our last place. Oh, you see him running? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, no, where'd he go? He started running, now he's gone. Oh, this ain't good. Hold on. Where'd he go? I bet he's up in there. I bet he's hiding in that. I started whispering so I don't scare him. Because if he comes running out, I'm going to scream like a bitch. Anyway, enough about my spider adventures. So, I'm going to cut it here. Well, good morning, my little buckets of sunshine. Oh, let's go over where we left off last night. We're going to jump right into this. So last night, after the spider deal, and I'll finish telling you about Alex Metalworks. After that spider incident, I worked out here for another 20 minutes or so and cut it down. I was having a problem, so I have my welder and my plasma cutter hooked up to this real heavy duty cable that runs to 220. Well, my other welding table where I had those is sitting over here. It's a great big thing, and I didn't have an extension long enough, so I was just kind of making do with an extension, and I was running everything off 110. Well, it wound up throwing the breaker, and it's going to happen. So anyhow, I just went ahead and shut it down and picked up a part this morning I'm going to put together so that I can run my big, long, heavy-duty cable. I mean, it's like 40 foot long. I can get from the 220 to the back of the shop, the front of the shop, the driveway, that sort of thing. I just need to put an end on it so that I can put both these back on 220. So I need to trim off the little bits of this. I just went ahead and tacked them up last night. I can take a slice and dice and cut those off. It's not a big deal. Hadn't seen the spider since last night. It looked like in the video when I rewatched it, he took off that way, and I was looking back here. So where he's at, that little itsy bitsy spider. Toodaloo, homie. What else was I gonna say? There was that. Shoot, I don't know. Let's just jump into this. Man, it is super solid. Still looks great. I mean, this has turned out really well. No matter how you look at it, it's square. All I need to do, and I cut that piece down and, of course, beveled the end so that you can get a big fat weld in there. So I'm going to tack that up. But I do need to put that deal on there so I can run 220. It'll work on 110, but I want it hot welds. I don't want to stop once I get going. On the 110 outlet, I could get an inch or two and it would throw the breaker. So I got the insides of all of these done. But that's not going to cut it. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and start off right where we left off. This is done. Well, no, it's not. So this is all stitched up, hot stitched, other than having this little piece on here. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done. Well, I'm going to put the end on put the new 220 plug on the end so that I can run both pieces of equipment off one. I don't run them both at the same time. So we're going to get that done, then we'll start on that side. So that's our plan for this morning, Sunday morning. We're going to have this done here in a couple hours. So without further ado, I'm jumping into this. So let's take a look at this now. I went ahead and got them both in, both stitched up. It's late in the afternoon now. Everything's cut, stitched up, and so nice. So what a neat little kit. So anyhow, you can see on the bottoms match the corner of the frame. They're all notched in. Let me see on this side without going around there. Just a simple little setup. And I went ahead and got my little adapter for my welder. Nothing spectacular nor fancy. There you go. But that's it. I just wanted to fill you in on this, and they're pretty rigid and just true as can be, which is so nice. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing going, get this party going. We're about out of battery on this. I've got another battery I can put in here, and as soon as I get them burned in, I'll go ahead and let you know and show it to you, and then we'll cut out the center sections and start adding stuff. So just wanted to touch base. So y'all remember when I said I wasn't a welder? Yeah, I'm not. Now, with that being said, I've seen way worse. I'll trust my shit. It's not great, but it's in there. It's burned in. It's hot. That's for dang sure. And I wanted to do this before I flatten it out and clean up the corners. I don't grind the welds. I just make sure there's nothing. This is still hotter than the dickens. Make sure there's nothing on the flat sides. If there's anything sticking up, I get it off there like that. She's burned in. So that's that. Man, I'm glad to have that done. See a hole right there. I'll have to get that. Not too shabby for a fat white kid with no skill. On to the next one. All right, let's talk about a few things. I've nearly got, this side done. So it's cleaned up. I got that. This was wider down here, so it's got a bit more weld. It's not quite as tight. This one wasn't so bad. But everything is cleaning up really nice. Let me show you something that I did do, which I think is going to help me in the long run. It's like 6 o'clock. I've been out here all day. I still got to burn in that side, but not so bad. It's stitched up, and I haven't took a burr bit to any of this. See how I notched this out on the inside? It's the same way on the other side. Now you can see that nylon rope coming through. I had it to where I could fish stuff through there, and then of course when I started welding it, it caught on fire inside there. But But anyhow, if I can run everything on the inside of this bed rail up through that and over there, then I'm not going to have to bolt stuff on this. And I've never liked that unless it's hard line. So on this one, I'm going to put I found some steel cable over there. I'm going to put some steel cable in here, and I think that's going to help me out tremendously because it won't catch on fire. Man, I will tell you one thing. This ain't going to beat me. So the C-notch is done. Oh, I'll walk you through everything in just a second. This is like the 7th time I've taken the finished C-notch video. As a matter of fact, I did it and then did like 3 other videos and went back, and I still don't have the videos. One of them, it was shutting off all the audio on like 3 or 4 videos. Then I go back and it wasn't even recorded, the last 3. So I cleared out the camera, changed everything up, so hopefully we got it. So the C-notch is finished. It's finished and painted and looks good. And since then, the videos that I made of me putting in the 4-link is missing. The video of me putting in the cantilever set's missing. We still have the wrong brackets right here, but I just put everything up so it is what it is. But this is centered up and down over the axle. The axle's centered underneath the truck. It's on jack stands. The pinion angle set, this is where it needs to set. Now, the truck needs to come down just a scotch, but I can't do that until I get the right brackets. So that's where we're at. We're at a stopping point right here until I get the other brackets. They should be in today. He said he was going to overnight them. And I'm missing some stuff for the Watts link, the little sleeves that go in the urethane bushing. Not a big deal. He messaged right back and said, I'll get them to you, buddy. So we're going to be starting on the front here pretty soon. But hey, so take a look, man. The cantilever kit's, the C-notch is done. This thing turned out pretty cool. I've got the rear end under it, which was another video I lost of me putting that all back together and getting it slid under there. I don't know what went on. I have no idea. The light was blinking, everything was doing what it usually does. But I go in on the SD card and it wasn't on that SD card. But that's the same SD card that I had videos with no audio. So this is a different SD card, so we're gonna play it that way. So I don't want to keep you, I've already got your attention on this one for about 2 minutes. I do want to walk through this with you guys. So I'll take you off the tripod here in just a second. But we're going to be starting on the front here shortly. Probably not today. I'm going to pick the kids up from school. It's raining outside. I got a few things I can get done around here. I got the shop all cleaned up and that sort of thing. So each time I do this, I like putting my tools up, get everything clean, just start fresh again, drag out what I need. It's easier for me to keep up with stuff, and I don't like working in a mess. So that's that. I'm real pleased with this. This looks good. You can see my handprints all over everything, but I think for what it is, it's pretty sweet. On the cantilever kit, I'm hoping these things are built a little different because this isn't going to work. I'm going to have to slide this back 1 set of bolt holes. It's not lining up quite right, but I'm not going to mess with it until I get the brackets in. And then when I get the brackets in, I still have to cut off the spring perches. I thought that it came with this different mounting hardware where you needed the spring perches, but it doesn't. So the rear end's got to come back out anyway. It looks like as it sits, the shock location brackets will work closely, so we'll see about that. And then again, I may just want to change them and put them on the back side of something and have them back over here. But it's already cut in for the frame over here, and it would look better, and I would rather have them back in a factory position if possible. So that's that. The drive line, the drive shaft will hit as it sits. If I go down any lower, I mean, I can go down 1 inch or 2 lower, but this is way high for right now anyway. So this would be like above ride height. So I know when we lay this down, I mean, there's like 3 inches in between where the drive shaft would be, where the carrier bearing bolted up, that whole bracket's got to come off. This cross member, I'm going to have to notch it out, so I'm going to have to make a real cool little loop that goes over that. So there's a few things that need to be done, but nothing out of the norm. I'm going to go ahead and grab the camera. Let's go ahead and walk around this and take a look, guys. So I'm not going to, let me see. I'm not going to just spin this over. We're just going to keep rolling on this to see if I make it. So we did clean the welds off where we did the short bed conversion. It's all cleaned up and painted. That's the head start of the 4-link. That's the end of it. See how these brackets don't fit up on that rear axle tube? This is the cantilever set. So those bolt holes that are in the bracket, let me see if I can see this and do this at the same time. So the bolt holes that's in this bracket, I'm crushing my phone in my back pocket. Give me a second. These go up into there, see what I mean? We're gonna have to slide this whole assembly back, which I would rather have it back because the top bag perch, this thing, is sitting at an angle and I don't want it at an angle. Let's see, but that's the C-notch. We got the 4-link, the cantilever set up. We just need to slide that back, slide that one back. The rear diff, the rear end looks pretty good. Same thing, I got it set up over here. But all in all, I'm very pleased with it. Everything was a real snug fit. It looks good. I'm just glad to have it where you walk in and there's not a ton of tools sitting down and everything looks pretty nice. So it's it, and that's that. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and make this the end of this video of the C-notch setup and the way we did all the C-notch stuff. I think at this point we kind of got the idea. Just walk through the videos and watch them and it'll explain everything from start to finish. But that's it, and I sure thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It's Potter County Patina signing out, and cheers, my little bean sprouts. Peace.